Good morning, dear students. Hope all are doing well. So, already we started the classes. Now, I got the turn. Today, I'm going to teach the human health and diseases. So, from the beginning, there are many assumptions regarding the health. So, if you see that, what is meant by health? Remember that health, and if you want to explain about the health, you have to explain about the disease. If you want to explain about the disease, you have to explain about the health. That means both the health and diseases are interlinked with each other. So in the beginning, what is the meaning of health? Means a state of mind and body. A state of mind and body with a balance of humors. With the balance of humors. That means a state of mind and body with a balance of humors is defined as the health. This is the first statement given. So what is meant by humor? Humor means fluid. Right? So how many humors are there? We have four humors. So what are those four humors? The four humors includes blood, okay, yellow bile, green bile, and phlegm. Right? So these are the four humors. So when these four humors are in balance, then the person is said to be healthy. And this was greatly believed by Greek physicians. It was believed by Greek physician Hippocrates and Indian Ayurveda. So both Hippocrates and Indian Ayurveda proposed a good humor hypothesis. So they proposed what? Good humor hypothesis. So what is the definition of good humor hypothesis? The definition of good humor hypothesis means a person suffering with black bile disease will have hot personality. Right? A person suffering with black bile disease will have hot personality. Here the meaning hot means the person is having more body temperature. So a person who is suffering with black bile disease will have hot personality, and this one is called as good humor hypothesis, which was proposed by which was believed by early Greek physician like Hippocrates and Indian Ayurveda system. So, what is the early definitions we got regarding the health? Health is a state of mind and body with a balance of the humors. Right? So, what is the humor I told? Humor means these are the fluids present in our body. So, how many humors are there? The humors are present. The number of humors present in our body are four. What are those four humors? They are blood, yellow bile, green bile, and phlegm. Then who proposed or who believed the good humor hypothesis? Means Greek physician Hippocrates and Indian Ayurveda system believed the good humor hypothesis. According to good humor hypothesis, a person suffering with black bile disease will have hot personality. But this good humor hypothesis was disproved. Who disproved this good humor hypothesis? Let us see that one. William Harvey disproved William Harvey disproved good humor hypothesis. And we know that William Harvey discovered the circulatory system in the body. Right? Then he proved that a person suffering with black bile disease will have a normal body temperature. So, the person suffering with black bile disease will have normal body temperature with the help of what? With the help of thermometer. So with the help of thermometer, he proved that a person suffering with black bile disease will have a normal body temperature, but he do not have the hot personality. So William Harvey disproved the good humor hypothesis. As we know that most of the NEET questions are coming from the NCERT textbook, so we have to learn the NCERT lines also. So remember that good humor hypothesis was believed by Hippocrates and Indian Ayurvedic system, and good humor hypothesis was disproved by William Harvey. So how he disproved means with the help of thermometer. He proved that a person is having black bile disease will have a normal body temperature. Then what is the definition of health? What is the definition of health? According to World Health Organization, health means a person should be physically, mentally, socially well-being. That means a person should have physically fit. He should be physically well, and he should have mentally ill. That means the brain also should be well, and the functioning of thinking of his functioning should be well, and socially well-being. Then only we can say that a person is healthy. So what the World Health Organization is telling now? The World Health Organization states that a person, according to the World Health Organization, the term health means a person who is physically, mentally, socially well-being. Then only we can say that he is healthy and not merely absence of disease. So that indicate that if a person is not having disease, that doesn't say we cannot say that person is healthy. Remember that. So absence of disease in your body does not say that you are healthy. That means what here? You should be physically fit, right? You should be mentally fit, and in the society your behavior should be well. If you are having these qualities, then only we can say that you are healthy. Okay, it's a very important point. Remember that. So according to World Health Organization, it's a very important objective question also we can frame here. According to World Health Organization, what is the definition of health? So definition of health means a person who is physically, mentally, socially well-being and not merely absence of disease is called as health. Then what is meant by disease? Disease. or disorder. What is my definition of disease? Right, disease means bodily disorder or discomfort. Right, not feeling easy. Disease means not feeling easy. That means you are having discomfort in your body. You are having disorder in your body. Right? So you can use the word bodily disorder or disordered state of your body, and feeling discomfort is called as disease. So very important point, that one. So disease means it is bodily disorder or discomfort. Right? So another definition also we can use here: any kind of deviation from normal anatomy of the body is called as disorder. For example, you take, if the forearm has been broken, right? You all know that my forearm has been broken. That so when the forearm is broken or fractured, we can say that you are not. You can say that we cannot say that we are sick, right? Here the anatomy of the bone has been underwent disorderly. That means what does it say? That here it is the disorder of the part. So your normal functions of the body is going on, but there is some disorder in your part of the body. So that is the definition for the disorder, right? And also you can go for another example. You can take that examples. We can take the cirrhosis of liver. What happened? Normally liver becomes fibrous due to excessive alcohol consumption. So due to excessive alcoholic consumption, if the person is suffering with cirrhosis, then it is also disorder of the liver. And you can go for another example: broken forearm. Broken forearm. So these are the definitions of the what we can say disease. Now let us go for some terminologies now, because we are going to discuss many diseases, and you'll get some terminologies while going through those diseases, right? So according to World Health Organization, the term health means being physically, mentally, socially well-being, and not merely absence of disease is called as health. So what is disease means bodily disorder or discomfort or any kind of deviation from normal anatomy of the body is called as disorder. So examples we have taken as cirrhosis of liver and broken forearm. I have given these examples for the disorder. Don't think that don't have the disease here. The disorders I have given. So cirrhosis of the liver and broken forearm. So remember that. Right, we can go for the terminologies now. Now, general terminologies. Right, we use the word general terminologies. Okay, we are going to learn different kinds of diseases. Okay, diseases caused by diseases are caused by protozoans. Okay, helminth parasites, bacteria, viruses, and fungi. Okay, so protozoans means that some malaria fever. Okay, this malaria fever is caused by a parasite called as Plasmodium vivax. Okay, this Plasmodium belongs to the phylum Protozoa. Okay, then helminth parasites means you know that roundworms, tapeworms, and roundworms. Okay, tapeworms and roundworms. So these are the helminth parasites. Next, bacterial diseases. So bacterial diseases caused by tetanus. So tetanus is caused by bacteria, and viruses like rhinovirus. Right? Today we are very familiar with COVID-19, coronavirus, right? So those are the viral diseases. And fungi, best example for fungi is a ringworm. Right? These are the diseases commonly causing agents. These are the protozoans. Diseases are caused by protozoans, helminth parasites, bacteria, viruses, and fungi. Now let us see some of the terminologies we use. So first one, some general terminologies we are using. So etiology. So first one is etiology. Second one is pathogen. Third one is incubation period. Okay, let us see the etiology. Right? So study of causative agent of disease. Suppose I told you that malaria is caused by Plasmodium. Right? If you are going to study about the Plasmodium, we call this one as etiology. Right? Then pathogen. Pathogen means disease causing agent. Right? So disease causing agent. That means malaria is caused by what? Which pathogen causes the malaria? Or amoebiasis is caused by what? Filaria is caused by what? You know that malaria is caused by Plasmodium. So that is called as pathogen. Then incubation period. Incubation period means it is the time interval. So what is the time interval? What time interval between the entry of pathogen into the body and first appearance of the disease or first appearance of the symptoms. Right. So for COVID-19, we are telling that once the person is affected with COVID-19 or coronavirus, it takes around 2 to 5 days to show the symptoms. In some people, it shows around 1 to 14 days or 2 to 14 days. That means the period, that means the time period or time interval between the entry of the parasite into your body and the first clinical symptoms or first appearance of the symptoms of disease is called as incubation period. So that is one of the important these are one of the important what we can say terminologies we are using here. Now let us go for the next one, mode of transmission. You grab the board. So next one is mode of transmission. That means how these diseases are spread. Let us see. Mode of transmission is fecal-oral route. So one is fecal-oral route, one is droplet infection, third one is airborne diseases. right? Airborne diseases. So fecal-oral route means, for example, you can take entamoeba. So once the person is suffering with amoebiasis, okay, amoebiasis is caused by entamoeba histolytica. So those parasite, that means the parasites will come out through the fecal matter. Again, this fecal matter get contaminated with canal water or drinking water and vegetables what we consume. Then again it enters into our mouth through these food materials or by drinking that water. So that is called as fecal-oral route. The next one is droplet infection. Droplet infection, you know that common cold. So when we are sneezing or when we are coughing, what happens? The droplets are coming outside from our nose, from our mouth. What will happen? Those are inhaling those droplets. Then the person will get that disease. Third one is airborne diseases. So airborne diseases means what? So through airborne diseases means some viruses spread in the air. So if we inhale that air, we get those diseases, right? So these are the mode of transmission, right? Then health is affected by what? Let us see that. So health is affected by, let us see the first one, genetic disorders, infection and lifestyle. So let us see. The first one is genetic disorders. So health is affected by genetic disorders. So what are genetic disorders here? Genetic disorders means which are inherited from parent to child. Which are inherited from parent to child, or children born with disorders or diseases. Example we can take. Example, color blindness. It is a genetic disorder. Hemophilia, right? And AIDS. So HIV is also transmitted from mother to child. Okay, these are the genetic disorders. The second one is infections. Infections caused by what? Caused by various bacteria, viruses, fungi, etc. Third one is lifestyle. So lifestyle means what we eat, drink, alcohol consumption, tobacco consumption or tobacco smoking. All this comes under lifestyle. Okay, so all these are responsible. That means what we eat, whether we are eating healthy food, whether we are taking a purified water or not, right? If you are eating unhealthy food, unhygienic food, or the foods contaminated with different flies and cockroaches, we are consuming like that, then we are prone to diseases, right? And also consumption of alcohol and also tobacco are injurious to health and they cause diseases also. So this is very important, right? So next we go for the types of diseases now. Types of diseases. Any disability or discomfort in the normal functioning of the body is called as, what we call it as, disease. So many types of diseases are there. Diseases can be broadly classified into two types. The first one is congenital, and the second one is acquired. So what is congenital? Congenital means, so children born with diseases. I already told you, right? So examples for congenital: color blindness, hemophilia, and AIDS. So these are the congenital. Congenital means inherited from parent to child. Then acquired means the diseases that you acquire, that you get in your lifetime. The diseases that you are getting in your lifetime is called as acquired diseases. And these acquired diseases are two types. They are infectious diseases and non-infectious diseases. So the acquired diseases are two types. One is the infectious diseases and second one is non-infectious diseases. So what are infectious diseases? Let us see that one. Infectious diseases means caused by pathogens infectious diseases are caused by pathogens and spread from one person to another person. Okay, infectious diseases are caused by pathogens and they are spread or transmitted from one person to another person. And these infectious diseases are again two types. Okay, one is contagious and second one is non-contagious. As a time bound factor, I am concluding now. So tomorrow again we'll go for the infectious diseases and non-infectious diseases. Okay, as our time is completed now, so we'll see tomorrow. In the next class, I'll explain about the infectious and non-infectious diseases. Have a good day. Thank you, ma.